Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Katie. So today we're going to connect our breath with the voice to support our singing properly, and then I'll teach you the very first vocal exercise that I teach my students. It's called a lip trill, and it's the foundation of expanding your range. In the last video, we talked about breath support. That is very important. Do not skip that. It will not make sense if you do not watch that video, so please go back and visit that. Now, let's use that breathing exercise that we used in the previous video, and now let's pair that with a warm-up. You're going to take that 3-step breath. You're going to squeeze from the sides right here, squeezing down. So inward and down, like those 2 arrows right here. And then you're going to imagine your air coming up and over this way, rather than just coming straight out of your mouth, like that. It's very hot air. If you put your hand in front of your face, you'll feel lots of hot air. If you imagine your air coming up and over very gently, you should feel just some cooler air on your hand coming out of your mouth. So, you ready? Let's give that a try. We're going to breathe in for 4. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Now exhale. Air coming up and over. Now let's pair that with a nice little glissando. It doesn't have to be super high, but I just want you to imagine the air coming up and over, passing through your vocal cords, over your ear, and out this way, rather than coming straight out of your mouth. All right, ready? Breathe. Squeeze, exhale. Let's try that again with an ah. Breathe in. Ah. All right, let's actually start from the bottom and then go to the top. Ready? Breathe. Squeeze. Ah. Now let's start from the bottom, go to the top, and then come back down. So have a nice bell curve. Breathe. And squeeze. So it's important during that exercise to imagine your throat nice and open and relaxed and lots of space on the inside. So imagine that there is a reverse triangle in your head and there's space in the back of your teeth are separated. And you're feeling the air pass through your vocal cords, coming up and over, like this, rather than just coming out of your mouth. If you do that, you might feel a breathiness, and you actually might feel yourself running out of air. Always imagine the air coming up and over like a gentle wave as you sing. I notice that my students, when they have a hard time accessing that upper part of their range, it's usually because their soft palate in the back is not lifted or it's tight. And so then in the stretching video, I talked about stretching and releasing that tension, almost like a pseudo yawn. And I always tell them, if you're yawning, you're probably doing it right because you're stretching that back part of your throat and the pillars of the soft palate. And so in order to feel the soft palate, or just kind of get my students acquainted with what the soft palate is, I have them say, give me a ooh, like, ooh, that was a good idea. So I have them try ooh. I have them say that, or just sing that really. And then the next time I have them do that, I say, okay, now focus on that soft palate. And can you feel it go ooh? All right, let's give that a try. Ooh. Hopefully you can feel it. Just lift and then gently release. Lift and gently release. Now let's try the vocal trill. I've also heard it as lip buzzing and also as lip trills. What this does is that this is able to stretch out your vocal cords before you start singing la la la. It can also expand your range, just kind of paving the way for your muscles to be able to get used to be stretched in such a way to be able to expand your range. First, what you want to do is to imagine that air coming up and over, and I want you to relax your lips and then give just a slight puff of air. So a quick puff of air. Try that. You might start feeling your lips buzz. You may not. But I want you to relax your lips as much as possible. And then try to elongate that puff of air, trying to make the lips buzz and oscillate together. So we have like a horse, like that. Remember, think a light puff of air. You don't want to go so forceful where it's like that, and then you might spit everywhere. You want to think nice and light, up and over. If you're first starting with this exercise and you've never done this before, I can understand. It will get easier. If you're having a hard time with just letting your lips buzz, what you can do is that you can take your two fingers and you can just put them gently right here on the sides of your face like this. So what that does is that it just softens your lips a little bit to be able to let the air pass through a little bit more easily. So we like that. So always think gentle, all right? Don't try to think forcefully in your face. All right, now let's add some vocalizing behind it. Let's just choose a C note right here. So it's going to be middle C, and I'm going to take my fingers and just purse my lips this way. If you don't need it, great. And I'm going to hum behind that vocal trill, or that lip trill. Now we're going to add an arpeggio. A simple 1, 3, 5, or do, mi, so. So let's try that. We have our lip trill. Try that again. Breathe. Make sure you're engaging that diaphragm. Okay, and then you can go up by half steps, or if you have a piano in front of you, you can choose whatever note that is comfortable for you to start and then keep moving up the keyboard. If you don't have a keyboard, there are plenty of free apps online and you can just use that as your starting note. You don't need to learn how to play, you can just find a starting note. I usually use middle C or A below C. So let's try that. And then we're going to go back down. Do, mi, so, mi, do. So 1, 3, 5, 3, 1 if you like numbers. Don't forget about your breath. Up and over. And so on and so forth. Here's another one. We start on do and we bounce between do and so. Do, so, do, or 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, but it's with a lip trill. So you can go as high as you possibly can and as low as you possibly can. It's a safe exercise to be able to vocalize and to stretch those muscles rather than maybe singing on a vowel. It's less intimidating and you're actually able to sing just slightly higher because there's nothing else getting in the way. I mean, I have my student really pushing it to the top of their range. So speaking of which, that exercise is 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1, or do, mi, so, mi, do. So it's on that arpeggio. Next lip trill is the full-on arpeggio, going ascending and descending. 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1. All right, so we have. Extend send that exercise all the way up here into the stratosphere or all the way down here in the lowest part of the range. Just make sure that when you are vocalizing, try to remain as relaxed as you possibly can and don't overexert yourself. If you start to feel tension or pain anywhere, then stop. Stop, try to address where that tension might be coming from. What is tight on the inside? Is it your tongue that's kind of lifted in certain areas? Is your jaw, are you clenching it? Just make sure they try to pinpoint the part that is hurting the most and try to relieve that pain, that tension. It's okay to stop and then start again the next day if it ever hurts. So just please be aware of that. Be very aware of your body and what's going on. The first exercise I gave you for free. You can practice along with me. For the extended version of these warm-ups, please visit my Patreon page. The link is below. All right, now you're ready for the next step. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.